hearing, there's loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation, and can that happen next?
We shall see, you know. Who knows?
That smile's telling me something else, bro. I think it might be on the line, no?
I'm just saying, man, we can't.
Oh, I feel like Canelo, he don't have nobody to fight no more. Like, who would you really want to see him fight besides Crawford? Nobody. There's nobody else.
My opinion is my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo. But still, do I think he can give him a good fight? And I'll be sitting there rooting for Crawford all day. I'll put all my money. I'm always going to bet on black, always.
Terence Crawford has finally broken his silence on his potential fight with Canelo Alvarez. Will 2025 bring boxing fans the long-anticipated modern dream fight between Canelo and Crawford? Rumors are swirling that the clash might take place during Canelo's signature Cinco de Mayo weekend in May. Ruben Carter tweeted on X saying, "Breaking news, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is officially signed for May 2025. Moreover, renowned trainer Robert Garcia mentioned to Fight Hype shortly before Christmas that he had heard whispers of a potential Canelo-Crawford showdown on that date. Adding fuel to the speculation, World Boxing News recently reported that Crawford is on Canelo's shortlist of potential opponents for his May outing. Turki Alalshik might bankroll the bout to happen in Las Vegas, though nothing has been set in stone yet. However, when it comes to influence, few things speak louder than cold, hard cash, and Alalshik certainly knows how to make an offer fighters can't refuse. With jaw-dropping sums that blur the line between billionaire and something far greater, he's known for orchestrating high-profile matchups. His latest ambition, making Canelo versus Crawford a reality.
To be honest with you, Crawford he's one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen. But, you know, when he went to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he kind of looked like he didn't have the power that he had at 147. And he still had to come up two or three weight classes. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I don't know. Crawford, bro, he's like a one-of-a-kind fighter, you know what I mean? Especially since if he knows he's going up to 168, he'll probably bulk up. But, I mean, I think the weight classes have to be respected. You know, I feel like Canelo, he's a more natural super middleweight. And if he's going against Canelo, his first fight being at 168, you know, it's kind of already, you know, he has a lot of disadvantages against him. So I feel like Canelo to win.
However, the prospect of a showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has ignited excitement among boxing enthusiasts around the globe. Following his impressive win against Errol Spence Jr., Crawford has boldly stated his eagerness to step into the ring with the Mexican super middleweight champion. Crawford, often hailed as the top pound-for-pound boxer globally, is set to face a formidable challenge by stepping up 2 weight divisions to take on Canelo. Yet, the journey to this landmark clash promises to be anything but smooth. Former super middleweight world champion Demetrius Andrade offered his thoughts on this much-awaited bout. "I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We reach out to each other. We've been traveling the world through the amateur program. He saw me beat people up, I saw him beat people up. I think the stories could go on, but when it comes to weight, empowerment, that shit is real," Andrade said during an interview with Fight Hub TV. Andrade, previously rumored to be in talks for a bout with Canelo, recognized Terence Crawford's extraordinary talent and prowess. Still, he feels Canelo's size and extensive experience in the upper weight divisions give him a clear edge in any potential matchup. Andrade explained, "Canelo is a big bad wolf, and he can run the whole night. I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to Saul getting shots and blocking his power shots, Canelo knows how to move too. He has agility, not like a robot. I mean, it's gonna be tough. I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, but I still think he can give him a good fight. And I'll be sitting there fuming for Canelo all day." A potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has all the makings of a historic boxing spectacle. As undisputed champions in their own weight classes, these two warriors bring distinct fighting styles and charismatic personas that have earned them a devoted global following. This matchup promises to deliver an electrifying and unforgettable battle. Should this fight materialize, it has the potential to mark a pivotal chapter in both boxers' careers, serving as a spectacle that cements their places in the sport's history. Demetrius Andrade is giving an honest evaluation of the bout. While acknowledging Crawford's exceptional talents and their past connection, Andrade pointed out the significant obstacles the welterweight champion will encounter by stepping up 2 divisions to face the super middleweight title holder. Andrade thinks Crawford can compete, but he doesn't think he can match Canelo's size, strength, and quickness. However, it doesn't seem like Terence Crawford will have the chance to round out his career with a last bout against Canelo Alvarez.
in reality of it, I just think Canelo knows how to fight. He knows how to come in big, and he can throw hard shots. He's a technical guy too. Look what he did to Colin Smith, hitting elbows, hitting arms, hitting all this other stuff. He's going to use those same type of tactics on the smaller guy. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just talking real boxing facts. I'm not trying to be in this fantasy world because it's not what I'm in.
Are you going to continue to stay at 168 pounds?
Yeah, 168 pounds is a good weight class. I think there's a lot of great fights. Just the guys I mentioned are all in 168 pound weight class. I think there's nothing for me at 160, nor do I want to even try to make that weight anymore. I outgrown it. Like I'm big now. You know, we all get older. We don't get younger.
The predictions continue to come in over the proposed clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Although they're 2 weight classes apart, the prospect of a Canelo versus Crawford fight is steadily gaining traction, with both fighters seeking opponents for spring 2025. Alvarez's most recent fight took place in September, where he successfully defended his WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight titles, securing a unanimous decision win over Edgar Berlanga. A month earlier, Crawford had made his 154-pound debut and won the WBA super welterweight title by defeating Israel Majmuf. Many believe that for Bud to hit the super middleweight limit, adding another 14 pounds could prove challenging, making a potential clash with Alvarez seem like an insurmountable hurdle for the Nebraska native. Tim Bradley, a former 2-weight world champion and now a boxing analyst, offers a different perspective. In a recent video on his YouTube channel, he shared that after carefully analyzing both fighters, he predicts a dominant win for Crawford. Bradley said, "I woke up 3 a.m. and something told me to study Canelo and study Crawford. Crawford is about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting you know right now, he's about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. A victory for Crawford would be a remarkable feat, further elevating his already exceptional legacy that boasts undisputed titles in both super lightweight and welterweight divisions. But going into the fight, Canelo will be viewed as the favorite, and he has summed up his reasons for believing he will win in just 5 words. On the other hand, despite the fervent excitement and growing demand from fans, the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford appears set to stay a mere fantasy. Eddie Hearn, the head of Matchroom Boxing and a longtime ally of the Mexican champion, recently offered insight into his discussion with Cinnamon regarding the potential bout, and the outlook isn't looking bright. You may recall that His Excellency Turki Alalshik was advocating for the matchup during Crawford's clash with Israel Madrimov last year. The Saudi royal even urged Hearn to contact Canelo's team in an effort to bring the fight to fruition. Despite these efforts, the bout never came to life, and discussions about the potential fight have gradually faded. Hearn's appearance in an interview with Fight Hype, when he was questioned about the specifics of the possible match, was the last straw. Hearn revealed, "I'll be honest, I'd be very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest." Hearn recollected his prior conversation with Canelo, stating, "I think his kind of feeling is, when I beat Crawford, everyone's going to say I've beaten 154-pounder. He further clarified that at this stage in Canelo's career, he seeks opponents who are willing to engage and press the action, a style Canelo feels Bud isn't likely to adopt. Crawford is making a significant leap up through weight divisions for this potential clash, putting him at a clear disadvantage. Even if he manages to reach 165 pounds, Canelo will still hold the size advantage. To secure victory, Bud will have to rely on his agility and footwork." Hearn echoes this sentiment as well. Crawford can't really come to fight in that fight because he's at a massive size disadvantage, Hearn told Fight Hype. He concluded by reiterating, "I don't think that fight will happen." Even with the sobering reality of this possible bout, on the other hand, despite the fervent excitement and growing demand from fans, the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford appears set to stay a mere fantasy. Eddie Hearn, the head of Matchroom Boxing and a longtime ally of the Mexican champion, recently offered insight into his discussion with Cinnamon regarding the potential bout, and the outlook isn't looking bright. You may recall that His Excellency Turki Alalshik was advocating for the matchup during Crawford's clash with Israel Madrimov last year. The Saudi royal even urged Hearn to contact Canelo's team in an effort to bring the fight to fruition. Despite these efforts, the bout never came to life, and discussions about the potential fight have gradually faded. Hearn's appearance in an interview with Fight Hype, when he was questioned about the specifics of the possible match, was the last straw. Hearn revealed, "I'll be honest, I'd be very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest. Hearn recollected his prior conversation with Canelo, stating, I think his kind of feeling is, when I beat Crawford, everyone's going to say I've beaten one 5'4" He further clarified that at this stage in Canelo's career, he seeks opponents who are willing to engage and press the action, a style Canelo feels Bud isn't likely to adopt. Crawford is making a significant leap up through weight divisions for this potential clash, putting him at a clear disadvantage. Even if he manages to reach 165 pounds, Canelo will still hold the size advantage. To secure victory, Bud will have to rely on his agility and footwork. Hearn echoes this sentiment as well. Crawford can't really come to fight in that fight because he's at a massive size disadvantage, Hearn told Fight Hype. He concluded by reiterating, I don't think that fight will happen. Even with the sobering reality of this possible bout, individuals are still expressing their thoughts about who they believe will win. Despite the years of anticipation, the highly anticipated showdown that boxing fans across the globe are yearning for remains elusive. As 2024 drew to a close, more rumors of a potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford took the internet by storm. Although the details remain unconfirmed, the buzz spread rapidly, with respected boxing outlets echoing the same whispers. Several hours later, ES News posted a video on their YouTube channel addressing the circulating rumors and tracing their origins. Elise, boxing expert and founder of ES News, also discussed the potential date for the showdown, speculating that it could turn into the most monumental fight Las Vegas has ever witnessed. News of the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is everywhere, Sekbok admitted. However, he couldn't find the source. He added, I can't find anyone who started this rumor, and I went to a lot of legitimate news outlets, but no one has mentioned it. The insider claims that since there is no verified source, this is still only a rumor that has spread widely. Nevertheless, he didn't dismiss the chance of the fight happening, asserting that it's still a possibility. Sekbok also suggested that the speculated $250 million payday could have influenced Canelo Alvarez's decision to consider a bout with Terence Crawford. The February 2nd 62 boxer has consistently denied rumors about a potential showdown with Bud, citing the disparity between their weight classes. Nonetheless, multiple sources have suggested that the Omaha native is among the top contenders for a May 5th bout with Canelo, placing the fight around Cinco de Mayo. The reports also reveal that His Excellency Turki Alalshik is eager for this showdown to take place, and he plans to bring it to Las Vegas, specifically to the T-Mobile Arena, Canelo's longtime territory. The speculation intensified following the unified super middleweight champion's recent comments about a potential showdown with Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez, hailing from Guadalajara, has consistently rejected the idea of facing Bud for several reasons. Yet, during an interview on Sway's Universe a few months ago, the Mexican fighter seemed to suggest a shift in his stance, even expressing a sense of anticipation for the bout. The 34-year-old declared, I'm in. Why not? Don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money, claiming that he won't shy away from facing Terence Crawford for the right amount of money. Canelo went on to explain why he had rejected Bud so many times and what had changed. Canelo said, if the money is right, I'm in because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford. He moves a lot, and the fight is not that great. I saw in his last fight, and he doesn't move that much now. So if the money is right, I'm in right now, stating how Crawford's elusive fighting style has influenced his decision. In 2024, Crawford made the leap from 147 pounds to 154 pounds, stepping into the light middleweight division in pursuit of a title in his fourth weight class. He squared off against Israel Madrimov for the WBA Super Welterweight Championship in Los Angeles, securing a unanimous decision victory. Yet it wasn't his most dominant showing, as the challenge of adjusting to the new, heavier weight class was evident throughout the fight. Who could have predicted that this lackluster showing would sway Canelo's decision and finally grant Bud his long-sought opportunity? Yet, the path ahead isn't straightforward. The undefeated fighter, with a record of 41-0, must still ascend 2 weight classes to match Canelo's size, unless they agree to settle at a catch weight.
I can't go down anymore. But like he say, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, and then, he need to enjoy his fight.
Okay,
he deserve it. He deserve it. I like Spence, but I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything. But I knew. I think is the the type of fight Terence Crawford is different. 168, but like I say, like he say, nobody's gonna give me credit for that.
Thank you very much.
Who could have foreseen that this underwhelming performance would tilt Canelo's choice and ultimately pave the way for Bud to seize the long-awaited chance? However, the road ahead is far from simple. The unbeaten contender, with a flawless 41-0 record, will still need to rise through 2 weight classes to match Canelo's size, unless they come to terms on a catchweight. We know that Terence Crawford wants to move up 2 divisions to prove his greatness against Canelo. Although Bud last competed in the super welterweight division, he is eager to step up to super middleweight, adding another 14 pounds. His goal is to become just the 3rd fighter to defeat Canelo in nearly 70 career bouts, joining the ranks of Floyd Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol. Initially, the Mexican seemed indifferent to the idea, but he's gradually warming up to the matchup, now stating that he'll accept if the financial terms are favorable. With Crawford enjoying the support of Saudi Arabia's Riyadh season, the possibility has never seemed more plausible. If the event moves forward, 3-weight world champion and Hall of Famer James Toney is eager to participate. In an interview with Mill City Boxing, the 92-fight veteran, who, like Canelo, boasts an unblemished record against stoppages, shared his belief that he could show Crawford how to secure the knockout. Toney added, "It would be huge. If that fight happens, I would go back into camp with Crawford and show him how to do it for real. I love Bomac, but if he can't help him, I'll make sure it gets done. That ass will be cooked. Fish fried, hot ribs. Canelo can be knocked out, he ain't all that. He's not James Toney. He's not in my motherfucking league. He can't hold my bag." Toney has already expressed strong opinions on Alvarez, rejecting analogies to his own achievements as a super middleweight. Crawford wants to continue to build on his already outstanding legacy, even though he is aware of the struggle that lies ahead. Meanwhile, as Jake Paul persistently pushes for a fight with Canelo Alvarez, it's the anticipated showdown between Canelo and Terence Crawford that has fans on the edge of their seats. Although rumors of a potential bout between the two have surfaced time and again, they've fizzled out before gathering any real momentum. Still, Crawford, hailing from Nebraska, holds onto the hope of a high-stakes encounter with the Mexican boxing legend. In the midst of this ongoing saga, professional boxer Alexis Rocha, who has sparred with both men, has weighed in with his prediction for a potential showdown between the legendary pair. It's important to mention that Crawford is in the process of jumping between weight classes to face Canelo Alvarez, while many are labeling Cinnamon's recent bouts as relatively simple challenges. In a recent interview with Ali Skbak on ES News, the 27-year-old sparring partner of both Canelo and Crawford offered his intriguing perspective on how a potential clash between the two might play out. Reflecting on his past experiences, the Irvine, California native revealed that he first sparred with Canelo during his high school years. He said, "Canelo went easy on me since I was only 17. There were times when he went very hard. I felt those shots, and he wasn't even trying. I helped him a little bit for the James Kirkland fight. But I want to say, me and Canelo went toe-to-toe." Regarding Terence Crawford, Rocha recognized the importance of weight divisions, noting that Canelo Alvarez is significantly larger than Bud, yet he refused to rule Crawford out. Alexis Rocha told ES News, "He also has a good size to him where he has that reach, he has that boxing IQ. That's the most important thing when it comes to the boxing game. I think Crawford will hold his own very well in that fight." The 27-year-old clarified that despite this, he still believes Canelo will prevail since he has more experience taking on larger opponents. Additionally, a former pound-for-pound champion has offered his prediction for the bout. Andre Ward was a name frequently brought up by boxing fans who hope to see him face off against Canelo Alvarez during his prime. Yet, that matchup never materialized, and the prospect of a Crawford-Canelo fight seems destined for a similar fate. Still, Ward remains resolute in his belief that Crawford would come out on top in such a showdown. Ward told Boxing News, "I'm going with Terence Crawford. Big weight jump, dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect to Canelo, but I've said this the last couple times. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You gotta show me that you can beat him." Despite Canelo Alvarez's legendary status, experts remain split on the outcome of a potential fight between him and Terence Crawford. This means the question of who would come out on top can only be answered one way, if the fight ever takes place. However, given the current circumstances, it seems increasingly unlikely that it will. Meanwhile, when discussing how he believes Bud would fare against Canelo on the Come and Talk to Me podcast, boxing legend Mike Tyson only needed 3 words to sum up his thoughts. He said, "Too much weight." Tyson elaborated on why he was against Crawford pursuing a fight with Canelo, after the bout with Madrimov. He expressed his disapproval, stating that he didn't like the idea of the matchup. Tyson pointed out that Crawford had a close fight with his previous opponent, attributing it to the opponent's size and awkward style, and added that Crawford shouldn't have taken that fight in the first place.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know, and he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, because this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that would just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky-jerky. Yeah.
In another twist, Canelo Alvarez has seemingly signaled his readiness to take on Terence Crawford, sparking excitement over what could become one of the most eagerly awaited bouts in the sport. This clash promises to put two of boxing's finest at the peak of their prowess. The potential showdown between Canelo and Crawford is set to be nothing short of historic. Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, has ruled his weight class with a blend of raw power and pinpoint accuracy. Meanwhile, Crawford, hailed as one of the most technically gifted fighters of his time, combines masterful skill with a strategic mind, earning him the top spot in the pound-for-pound rankings. In an interview with Sway's Universe, Canelo Alvarez expressed his openness to the fight. "I'm in. Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. Easy money." This declaration signals a significant change for Canelo, who had once hesitated to take on Crawford, arguing that defeating a smaller fighter wouldn't earn him the recognition he deserved. In contrast, Crawford has remained steadfast in his pursuit of the fight, even willing to ascend 2 weight divisions to showcase his supremacy. Crawford is fully conscious of the physical edge Canelo holds, recognizing that size will be a pivotal factor in their matchup. Despite this, he remains steadfast in his belief that he can navigate this hurdle and dominate with his distinctive boxing style. Several analysts have raised doubts about Crawford's potential to perform at a high level in the super middleweight division. Their concerns partly stem from his latest outing, a points win over Israel Madrimov in the super welterweight class, which fell short of the commanding performance many had anticipated. Despite the prevailing concerns, the prospect of a showdown between Canelo and Crawford has ignited the imaginations of boxing enthusiasts. With their combined blend of raw power, lightning-fast speed, expert technique, and undeniable charisma, the clash promises to deliver an unforgettable spectacle.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah,
Next.
yeah.
With a huge fight against super middleweight king Canelo Alvarez still in the cards, Terence Crawford hopes to disprove his skeptics. He achieved the status of a 4-division world champion by defeating the powerful Uzbek fighter Israel Madrimov. His victory, a unanimous decision, secured him the WBA super welterweight title in August. A little more than a year after his undisputed clash with Errol Spence Jr., Crawford secured his 41st professional victory following a brutal 9th-round barrage that forced Spence to yield. However, Bud has been demanding a chance against Alvarez even before his triumph over Madrimov, hoping to add to his already illustrious history. Anyway, it appears that Crawford is still holding out hope that a lucrative altercation with Alvarez would happen. "I've been doubted my whole career and some still doubting me now. I love it," he wrote on X recently. It appears that, more often than not, the American has been the one pushing for the fight. So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.